Have you ever noticed you laugh louder around one friend but go completely quiet around another? You're confident at work but shy at a family dinner. You use different words, different jokes, even a different tone of voice, depending on who's in the room. Is one of these versions the real you, or are all of them real? The answer might surprise you, because your brain isn't hiding a fake version of you. It's doing something far more interesting. Think about your own life for a second. You probably act one way with your parents, another way with your closest friends, another way with a boss or teacher, and maybe a completely different way when you're alone. None of these are lies. Psychologists have a name for this. They call them social masks or context-dependent selves. You're not switching identities, you're switching which part of your identity is useful right now. Imagine your personality isn't one fixed object, but more like a toolbox. Different situations call for different tools. Around close friends, you might pull out the tool marked humor or vulnerability. Around a boss, you pull out professionalism and focus. Around family, you might unconsciously reach for an old tool, the version of you from years ago, like the responsible one or the funny one. Your brain constantly scans the room and asks a silent question. What version of me keeps me safe, accepted, and understood here? This isn't fake. It's one of the oldest survival skills humans have. Thousands of years ago, humans lived in tight social groups. Fitting in wasn't just nice to have. It was survival. Someone who acted the exact same way with every person in the tribe, the chief, a stranger, a close friend, could accidentally offend the wrong person. That could mean losing protection, resources, or status. So the brain evolved to read a room fast and adjust behavior to match it. This is why even today you instinctively soften your voice around a baby, straighten your posture around someone you respect, or joke more freely around people who feel safe. You're not being fake. You're running a very old, very human program. In the 1970s, a psychologist named Mark Snyder became curious about something simple. Why do some people seem to change personality depending on who they're with, while others act exactly the same no matter what? He developed a concept called self-monitoring. Some people are high self-monitors. They constantly read the room and adjust their behavior to fit it. Other people are low self-monitors. They act the same, whether they're at a funeral or a party. Neither one is better, but almost everyone sits somewhere on that scale, and most of us shift more than we realize. Here's what's happening without you noticing. The moment you walk into a room, your brain is already scanning. Who's here? What's their mood? What's expected of me right now? This happens in milliseconds, faster than conscious thought. Your brain then quietly selects which version of you fits best. Scientists call part of this process code switching, changing your tone, language, or behavior depending on your social context. You've probably done this without even labeling it. Talking to a grandparent in a gentler tone, using slang with friends, but formal language at work. Even changing your posture, slouched and relaxed on the couch, straight and alert in a meeting. You don't consciously decide most of this. It happens the same way walking or breathing does. That's because your brain treats social fitting in as important as physical safety. Remember, for most of human history, being rejected by your group could mean starvation, danger, or death. So your brain built a fast, automatic system to avoid social mistakes before they happen. This is also why you might feel instantly uncomfortable in the wrong social mode, like accidentally using a joke that lands with friends in a serious work meeting. That uncomfortable feeling, that's your brain's alarm system, telling you the wrong version came out at the wrong time. There's one more piece to this puzzle. Your brain has cells called mirror neurons. These fire not just when you do something, but when you watch someone else do it. This is part of why you unconsciously copy the person you're talking to. Their tone, their energy, even their posture. Ever notice how you start talking faster around someone who talks fast? Or calmer around someone who's calm? That's mirroring in action. It's one of the tools your brain uses to build connection, quickly and mostly without your permission. So far, this all sounds like a helpful survival tool. And most of the time it is. But there's a line. A healthy version of this looks like adjusting your tone. An unhealthy version looks like abandoning your actual needs and opinions just to be accepted. Psychologists sometimes call this extreme version people-pleasing, or in more serious cases, loss of self. If you constantly change not just your tone, but your actual beliefs, boundaries, or values just to avoid conflict or rejection, that's not adapting anymore. That's disappearing. Here's a simple test. Ask yourself, am I adjusting how I express myself or what I actually believe? Softening your tone with a grieving friend? Healthy. Agreeing with something you don't actually believe just to avoid an awkward moment? Worth noticing. Being quieter in a room full of strangers? Normal. Feeling like you don't know who you are once you're alone? Worth paying attention to. The goal isn't to act identically in every situation. Even trees bend differently in different winds, but the roots, your core values, should stay the same. Here are a few ways to keep your different versions connected to one core self. Notice the shift. Just becoming aware of when and why you change is powerful. Check in with your values, not just your behavior. You can act differently and still believe the same things. Practice small honesty, even when it's uncomfortable. Disagreeing gently. Saying, actually, I don't love that idea. Small reps build the muscle. Give yourself permission to have contrasts. The quiet you at work and the loud you with friends aren't in conflict. They're actually both real. So, why do we act differently around different people? Because your brain evolved a brilliant automatic system to help you belong, connect, and stay safe in every group you're part of. You're not fake. You're not many different people either. You're one person with many tools. The next time you notice yourself shifting around your boss, your friends, your family, don't ask, which one is the real me? Ask instead, am I still being true to what I actually believe, even as the tone changes? That question is where authenticity actually lives.